Good morning, Year Sixes. By the end of today, you would have completed one whole week of online learning. So congratulations and good work. I know that you guys have all very much persevered, and I know at the very beginning of the week it was quite difficult to get everything organised, and I'm so proud of everyone for stepping in there and persevering with it. So it's made all of the effort that we've gone into worthwhile. So thank you very much. Okay, let me quickly run through what the lesson for today is. You are going to be watching a video. The video that comes with this lesson, I've recorded into this lesson. So you don't need to click on the link or go ahead and watch it at a different time. I've worked it into the lesson. So keep that in mind as we go along. So we're going to answer a couple of questions, and then I'm going to show you the video, and then we will do the last half of the lesson. So this lesson is about exploring narrative voice and modality in still image. So remember, still image advertisements are printed. Okay, so they're not audio, they're not visual. Well, they're visual, but in a different sense of the word. So question 2 is decide whether the following words are high, middle, or low modality. So we are going to we're going to talk a bit more about modality in the video in a minute, but first I want to see if you can pick up on what modality might mean. So modality, using modal words as a degree, it sets a degree of certainty. So think of modality like a chance experiment. Okay, so there's likely chances, there's so-so 50-50, and then there's your low chance, no chance, probably wouldn't happen. So all you're doing is putting H, M, or L next to these words. So I want you to go ahead and do that. So do you think must is highly modal, middle, or low? And definitely think, if you were going to say, what is the likelihood of getting doubles on a dice or two dice? You know, think of your odds. What are the chances? So must and definitely are high degrees of modality. Maybe, probably, possibly. Think about where they might fit. So I want you to go ahead and put H, M, or L within them. I'm not explaining too much what it is because the video in a second is going to say all of that. I just don't want to repeat it. Okay, skip question 3. I really don't like those questions, but skip question 3. Question 4. There are 2 advertisements, BAMWOW 2000. There's text 1 and text 2. There is a document that you can open that has these as well in a larger format. So you can open that up and have a quick read. So we're going to quickly read through those together and then answer a couple of questions before I show you the video. So let's read text 1. BAMWOW 2000. This BAMWOW 2000 is possibly new. You could buy one if you want. It is supposedly quite good. It should last for some time. Your friends might want one. It is doubtful that you may be able to buy one for under $160. You might be able to order one soon. Supposedly, you don't want to miss out. So that's advertisement number 1. Advertisement number 2. The BAMWOW 2000. The absolute newest and best way to get rid of pests is BAMWOW 2000. You must buy one. It is positively the best. It will certainly last for a long time. Your friends will definitely want one. The price must be the best around at only $160. You must order yours. You definitely can't afford to miss out. So I don't know about you, but I'm picking on some language differences in those 2 advertisements. One is not sounding too keen about their product. They're not sounding very sure in what they're purchasing. So, and the other one is doing the complete opposite. They're very certain that it's the best, it's quality, it's going to be amazing. So let's have a look at A. Which one do you think would be more successful in persuading the target audience to buy BAMWOW 2000? I don't know about you, but it seems pretty plain and simple to me that text 2 is going to be more successful. The idea of an advertisement is to persuade people to buy or use your product or service. So you want to advertise it as the best, the best in the range, the best in price, the best in quality. So text 2 is definitely going to do a better job at that. Now, you are going to select 5 words from the advertisements that sound really persuasive and 5 words that don't sound persuasive. I'm going to get you to pause the video now, and I want you to do this activity before we move on. So pause the video. Year sixes, what's going to happen for the remainder of the lesson is you're going to shortly watch the video modality and narrative voice. So in question 5 and question 7, that's what the lesson asks you to do. So that has more than enough information in there that I do not need to double up and present that as well. It's beautifully placed and beautifully said in that video alone. So when this video tells you to pause, just wait a moment and resume. Don't pause, well, unless you want to. It's up to you. You can pause the video and then do the work and then resume. That's fine. So you choose what you want to do, but I'm just going to play the entire video for you, and then I'm going to get you to do question 6, question 8, question 9 and 10. Don't do question 11 because we're not presenting, you're not pitching your advertisement to anyone, unless there's someone at home that would be keen and very interested and eager for you to do it. Then by all means go and present your advertisement. So question 6 is about choosing from the statements whether they are high or low modality. Now again, that video it gives you very, very good information about modality and being able to decipher the difference between the two. Make sure you take notes of the video from the video if you need them. It's probably a very good idea to do so if you'd like. Question 8 is asking about narrative point of view, or point of view, because we're not doing narratives, it's just narrative. We're not doing narratives anymore, Mrs. New. So it's talking about narrative voice. So first, second, and third. Above question 8, they have a little bit of a clue there for you, which has first, second, and third person, and the types of words that you'd see if that advertisement is using either of those narrative voices. So use that as a clue if you need to, and tell me whether it's first, second, or third. When you're done and you move along to question 9, you get given 3 advertisements. They're Bam Wow 2000 advertisements. The first one, which is yellow, is asking you to change the existing advertisement from high modality into low modality. So you're tweaking words to make that advertisement not seem very certain. Okay, there's not a very high degree of certainty. The second one is orange, and that's changing from low modality to high modality. So you're doing the reverse again. Then the last advertisement is asking you to experiment with narrative voice. So it's asking you to write your own version of the Bam Wow 2000 advertisement. Sorry if I keep looking over there. I'm waiting for someone to burst through the door and interrupt me. So apologies. The narrative voices, and you're going to rewrite the advertisement for yourself. You can either do this on the computer, you can use the sheet that's provided, or you can just kind of sketch and draw one on a sheet of paper or a notepad. It's really, really up to you. So again, I said you don't have to do question 11 unless there's somebody at home that you are very eager to present your advertisement to. Go back and rewatch it. That's what these videos are there for. Again, take notes. And all the best, guys. This lesson's pretty straightforward, but you really do need to understand modality and narrative voice. So all the best. Again, if you are struggling and you need some help, I want you to comment on the video below. I'm really not a YouTuber, guys, so bear with me. Make a comment below if you are struggling with something or there's a concept you don't understand. Saying, Mrs. Nuno, don't understand doesn't help me help you. So be very specific if there's something you want help with, or if you want me to clarify a concept for you. So just comment below and let me know. All the best, guys, and happy working.
Advertisement is to persuade someone to do something, then it is essential that strong words are used and a positive tone is created. One trick to make the point of view in an advertisement sound stronger is by increasing the modality of the text. Think about the 2 advertisements for the Bam Wow 2000 that you just looked at. It was really clear which was the most effective and the most persuasive. When you look closely at the texts, you notice that when you increase the modality, the persuasiveness increases. Which one was less persuasive? The one on the left was definitely less persuasive. It made me not want to buy the product at all. And the one on the right was definitely more persuasive. So what words were used that made them more or less persuasive? Let's read the first statements. The first one on the left says the BAM-WOW 2000 is possibly new, while the one on the right says it's absolutely newest. What would you rather have? So what other words are there in the one on the left that are not very persuasive? How about could, supposedly, should, might, doubtful, may, and soon? All of these words aren't strong words that give us certainty. So what words does the one on the right have that makes it more persuasive? There's positively, certainly, must, and definitely. These words all offer us certainty that the product will be good and persuade us to buy it. What we have just talked about is modality. Modality provides information about the degree of certainty involved in an action, such as buying the BAM-WOW 2000. For example, if you're wondering how likely something is, you could say that it is slightly likely, shows words of medium modality that offer a reasonable amount of certainty. Let's face it, do you want your superheroes to say, "It is doubtful that I can help you. I may be able to save the day and possibly I can rescue you, but I'm not sure"? Or would you prefer if they said, "I am the man, and I will rescue you. I will positively save the day. It's definite"? It's the same with advertising. We feel much more confident if an ad uses high modality words that have a lot of certainty. This convinces consumers to buy the product. So if an advertisement says, "This product really works," or "You will definitely get the best service from us," they make us feel much better about parting with our money and purchasing the product or service. Now pause the presentation and complete the activities on modality in your... Now let's look at narrative voice. Do you remember what narrative voice is? It is the voice of the character or narrator telling the story. Narrative voice can be given in either first person, second person, or third person. These are the different points of views that a story can be told from. First person point of view uses words like I, we, me, and us to tell the story. It is giving the point of view of the author who is directly involved. Second person point of view uses words like you, your, and yours to address the reader. This is very commonly used in advertising. Third person point of view uses words like he, she, they, or it, and it is given from an outside narrator's point of view. Let's look at some statements and see if we can decide what narrative voice they are using. We think the BAM-WOW 2000 is the best product on the market. Do you think that is first, second, or third person narrative voice? It's first person because it uses the pronoun we and gives the author's point of view. 9 out of 10 people said they were happy with the BAM-WOW 2000. Is that first, second, or third person? This is an outside narrator's point of view because it uses the pronoun they. Do you have a problem with flies? The BAM-WOW 2000 will solve your problems. Is that first, second, or third person? It has used the pronoun you, which is addressing the reader, so this is written in second person. Let's have another look at the Cleanology advertisement for examples of narrative voice. First of all, let's look at the left-hand column. These are quotes from people that have used the product. This is called giving a testimonial. The first testimonial says, "Cleanology saved me. I had a breakout the week before my band's first gig, but after 3 days of using the scrub and lotion, I was ready for the big time." This is giving the point of view of the person who wrote it, and it uses the pronouns I and my. So does that make it first, second, or third person? It makes it first person. All testimonials are given in first-person point of view. They can make the advertisement more persuasive, especially if it is the testimonial of a famous person, because this person has actually used it and can verify that it's a good product. The copy text on the right is not narrative, so narrative voice is not used there. Is there anywhere else in the advertisement that does use narrative voice? How about order yours at? That is a statement directed at the reader, which uses the pronoun yours. So does that make it first, second, or third person? It makes it second person. Narrative voice is often used in advertising to suggest that the reader ought to do something or buy a product. Let's look at one more advertisement to see if we can spot narrative voice. Can you see narrative voice in this advertisement? Let's look at the headline first. Are flies bugging you? That's a question directed at the reader, so that makes it second person. What about what Persuasive Pete is saying? You need the BAM-WOW 2000. That's also second person. What word tells us that? It's you. That makes it directed at the reader. Now let's look at the copy text. Most of it is speaking in third person. Someone is telling us the information, like a narrator. But towards the end it shifts to second person. Can you spot where that happens? The last sentence. It's the fastest, safest chemical-free way to rid your home of cursed critters. That's directed at the reader again, so that makes it second person. Now return to the lesson book. You will adapt 2 advertisements to see how modality and narrative voice can change an advertisement.